Breaking now at 5, two powerful earthquakes rocking Venezuela, toppling buildings and burying hundreds of people.
We're tracking the significant damage left behind, the mounting death toll, and the reaction from survivors.
The impact of those two powerful quakes being felt in several Venezuelan states this morning. We're also tracking the impact on air travel, schools, and natural gas service as emergency workers frantically search for more survivors this morning.
Seattle preparing for its second World Cup match in the span of 3 days. Why this match will spark both celebrations and protests.
And here's a live look now in Des Moines on this Thursday morning from the KOMO 4 drone. Yeah, beautiful shot as always. A nice scanning of the area as the clouds begin to roll in, and will have already rolled in, and that's why we're seeing cooler temperatures. So good morning to all of you. I'm Patrick Hushin.
And I'm Holly Menino. Steve McCarran tracking several big stories from the live desk this morning. We'll take a look at your morning drive in just a moment, but first to meteorologist George Waldenberger with the first look at the forecast. We've got some rain moving in as well, George.
We do. You may have to wait a little while for that in Seattle, but for now we've switched on the natural air conditioning. You can see the clouds creeping in from the coast, and falling from those clouds, yes, we have rain over the Pacific, and this will spread in, but it's going to take 12 hours or more for that to happen, depending on your location. So you can see the overcast skies, 55 degrees in Seattle. It's a dry morning. Lunch hour may bring a sprinkle or two, but it's really going to be mostly dry most of the day. Hoquiam, Aberdeen, and along the Pacific Ocean coast, different story. Some sprinkles this morning, and look at 11 and noon, even a few showers possible then. So the farther west, the earlier the showers arrive, and I'll time this out using Futurecast for you so you can plan around it coming up.
All right, let's take a look at the roads this morning. A live look at SR 96. This is in the Mill Creek area. We still have this blocking here from an earlier crash. It's the two westbound lanes that are blocked this morning in Everett on SR 96 right now. You can see traffic is getting by in the turn lane, but again, those other lanes blocked right now. We'll keep eyes on that throughout the morning. And then to the maps right now, still seeing all green on our traffic maps. The only issue is that situation in Mill Creek right now.
Breaking in Venezuela, two powerful earthquakes rocking the northern part of the country less than 1 minute apart. The first a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, then just 39 seconds later, a 7.5 earthquake just miles away.
So powerful. This shocking new video shows people fleeing into the streets of Caracas as the buildings began to sway. Minutes later, huge plumes of smoke could be seen rising from the city from buildings that had collapsed. And this morning, first responders confirmed the quakes killed at least 164 people. More than 970 others are hurt, and those numbers expected to rise.
I was actually in the elevator of my building about to go and watch a match of the World Cup at a bar with friends, and the moment I got into the elevator started to shake from side to side really strongly and go all the way down on a very quick pace. I read about the 9/11 attacks and how many people died in the elevators of the towers, and I was just thinking like, wow, okay, so what if this falls?
Oh, that is terrifying. This is a live look showing just a glimpse of the devastation as search crews dig through the debris of toppled buildings this morning. Venezuela's president has now issued a state of emergency. These are the strongest earthquakes to hit Venezuela in more than 100 years.
All right, let's get back to Steve at the live desk.
And Steve, the heartbreaking reality of these quakes, we just don't know how high the death toll will climb. And just hearing that story from that one individual just moments ago.
Yeah, and I want you to think about the statistic that I just saw online this morning. U.S. Geological Survey says the death toll will most likely run into the thousands, with a very strong possibility it could hit at least 10,000 people dead as a result of what happened yesterday. Look at that video again that we just showed you a few seconds ago, and you can understand why those numbers are so high this morning. Look at these electrical wires and cars. They're shaking back and forth as that first quake hit. And how unnerving is this right here? New cell phone video captures shoppers inside of a mall quickly heading for the exits after realizing what was happening. Those quakes were actually happening. The damage in Venezuela this morning is just widespread. It hit several states in that country. This right here is just one building that came down and all of that shaking. And this new video was captured by a motorcyclist as he was passing by another collapsed building, a hotel in another city. We know the quakes damaged the country's main airport. Classes at many schools are canceled today, and subway and natural gas services in Caracas are currently not operating this morning. So the impact of this is just huge. Overnight, President Trump released a statement about the quakes, saying in part here that the U.S. stands ready, willing, and able to help. He says he's instructed all agencies of the federal government here in the U.S. to get ready to move quickly. We know some resources in several states, including California, have already been released to Venezuela to help out those folks down there.
Steve, thank you. The last 24 hours have also seen several earthquakes along the Ring of Fire. Now, this store surveillance video showing a 5.6 magnitude earthquake hitting Northern California. This was just yesterday, knocking groceries and wine bottles off the shelves there in the city of Upper Lake.
I was shaking from head to toe. My hands were shaking. I was watching wine bottles drop and just break and the wine go everywhere. It felt like it lasted for 20 minutes.
The earthquake lasted 30 seconds. It was felt as far away as San Jose. That's 180 miles away. And across the Pacific, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Japan. No major damage reported there.
This morning, we're working to get more information about a shooting involving a Federal Way police officer. Investigators say officers responded to the Arcadia rental homes last night to reports of a man having suicidal thoughts and armed with a gun. At some point, one of the officers opened fire. It's not clear what led up to the gunfire or what condition the man is in now. The Valley Independent Investigation Team now taking over the case, which is required by state law when police use deadly force. Time right now, 5:06, and tomorrow's Seattle's FIFA World Cup matches continue and will bring thousands of people to Soto.
Oh yeah, the spotlight now shifts to Egypt and Iran with pride celebrations, fan gatherings, and planned demonstrations all happening around the match. KOMO's Tyra Majors is live with a look at what people heading into downtown need to know this weekend. Good morning, Tyra.
Good morning, Holly and Patrick. Yeah, you probably saw the videos of the crowds during yesterday's Bosnia versus Herzegovina match. And if yesterday's crowds was any indication, tomorrow will probably look the same. Businesses saw a major boost. Crowds packed Pioneer Square, and FIFA officials preparing for another high-profile World Cup match. Friday's Egypt-Iran match kicks off at 8 p.m. at the stadium, but activity around starts hours earlier. A group supporting the Iranian people and opposing Iran's government plans to gather at 4 p.m. near South King Street before marching at 6:30. Another demonstration is planned for 3 p.m. outside of Lumenfield's west entrance, protesting the presence of Iran's national team. The match also being designated as Seattle's Pride Match Day, with community celebrations and Pride-themed programming continuing through the weekend. Organizers say the events are designed to highlight inclusion, community impact, and Seattle's role as a host city during the World Cup and Pride Weekend. Business owners in the area are thrilled for another day of crowds.
It has been completely unexpected. There were all the stories about it being, nobody's going to show up, the hotels weren't getting booked, and then what actually happened from day one, it's been like this. It's been packed every day.
Some business owners say it's because of the constant viewing parties in addition to actual match days bringing people in. On Friday, an estimated 30,000 people watched the USA-Australia match on the big screens in Occidental Square, the Seattle Soccer House at Pacific Place, Seattle Center, and the Pike Place Overlook. Well, officials from FIFA are really just urging people to stay prepared for those crowds best they can. And if you're taking transit this weekend, keep in mind Sound Transit is seeing some of its highest numbers in history. During last week's Juneteenth USA versus Australia match, they estimated a record 280,000 travelers using Link Light Rail.
And Tyra, are organizers expecting the same kind of turnout we saw earlier in the tournament?
Yes, they haven't released any new crowd projection numbers, but they say it's probably going to look like this as long as Seattle is hosting matches here. Another number for you, we mentioned some of the marches and demonstrations taking place tomorrow. Last week's USA versus Australia march, they had a record of 23,000 people marching through the Seattle area from the waterfront to the stadium. So I imagine they'll see similar crowds tomorrow. Live here in Seattle, Tyra Majors, KOMO News.
All right, Tyra, thank you. Today, Team USA will battle Turkey in their final match of the group stage. That game starts at 7 p.m. down in Los Angeles. Now, this match will have no impact for either team ahead of the knockout rounds. Turkey is already eliminated. They cannot advance at this point, but for the U.S., they've already secured the top spot in Group D. Now, when the knockout rounds start, the Americans are almost guaranteed to play Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. Bosnia finished third in Group B after beating Qatar here in Seattle yesterday 3-1. The U.S.-Bosnia matchup has not been confirmed by FIFA yet, but experts say the way the bracket is formatted, they give it about a 99% chance that that will happen. All right, stick with KOMO for continuing coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And when we're not on the air, you can still follow the newest developments online. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen. That'll take you directly to the World Cup section at KOMOnews.com.
And to cheer on Team USA this evening, George, find a good place inside, and there's all kinds of places to view the games tonight.
Because it's going to rain this evening,
Yes.
yes. And you know, as I was on my way to work this morning, there were still people out from last night celebrating in Belltown.
Yeah, I saw one of the teams leaving. It was about 10 buses leaving town at 2:30 this morning. I didn't know if it was the Bosnians or the Qataris, but exciting stuff.
Oh, wow.
It really is. It's a lot of fun. And we still have 3 more matches in town. Let's get you out the door today and get you ready for this changing weather. You can see the clouds there. It's 55 degrees. It's cooler than yesterday. Our temperatures, as a matter of fact, about 20 degrees cooler this afternoon than yesterday afternoon. In Seattle, we may catch a sprinkle later today, but mainly dry. In Aberdeen, look at the road here over the Chehalis River. It's damp. We actually have a couple sprinkles between Hoquiam, Long Beach, Raymond, Westport, and that'll be the case all morning. The rain, though, is still approaching from the west. You can see the clouds already taking root. You may catch a sunbreak up over the San Juan Islands this morning, but plan on mostly cloudy skies. And again, maybe a sprinkle. But here's the real rain. It arrives at Forks, Hoquiam, Aberdeen, a little heavier mid-afternoon. By 5 p.m., even some showers in Olympia, 6 p.m. Tacoma, which means as you're driving home from work tonight, be ready in case you run into rain. And then I'd plan for rain kind of scattered about this evening, overnight, and tomorrow morning's drive. It breaks up but stays a little bit wetter north of Seattle tomorrow through the day. Maybe it breaks up and we can dry out for tomorrow evening soccer match, Iran versus Egypt. I'd plan on more areas of rain Saturday, especially in the morning. Notice how things begin to shift south and dry out a little more for Sunday. I'll have more on that weekend forecast coming up outside on the KOMO weather deck, all right?
All right, back out to Mill Creek this morning. Both westbound lanes of SR 96 still blocked from an earlier crash. This is at Dumas Road. Vehicles are getting by in the turn lane, as you can see, but those 2 westbound lanes still blocked. Let's take you out to the maps right now. We are still seeing all green on our traffic maps. The only issue slowing you down is for those Mill Creek drivers, those westbound lanes of SR 96.
And your time is now 5:12. New data revealing King County's homeless population is only getting worse. The action some local leaders are pushing for to halt a plan that they say is just not working.
Incredible new video shows firefighters battling a huge 6-alarm fire in Pennsylvania. The safety precautions they're taking as they fight the flames.
Also had the signing of a bipartisan housing bill put on hold. President Trump says he wants something in return. That something would actually affect voters across the country. That's next.
At 5:15, a live look to bring you of downtown Seattle. As you can see, those marine clouds just covering the area now. Much different than what we've seen over the very warm last 3 days. So yeah, get ready for cooler temps and some rain, as George will tell you all about. So good morning to you.
Also getting brighter out there this morning. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson set to meet with President Trump today to talk about a bipartisan bill to address the housing crisis that for now the president refuses to sign.
Yeah, let's go to Steve at the live desk. Steve, this president's decision here comes as a surprise.
It did. I mean, I think we were all expecting for him to sign this housing bill into law yesterday, and then just plans changed unexpectedly. So the president says he wants something in return as a result of this. That something is the so-called SAVE Act, which would require Americans to show proof of citizenship to register to vote. The SAVE Act does not have the votes to pass in the Senate, at least for now. We're learning a planned lunch meeting with Senate Republicans yesterday devolved into a shouting match after Trump suddenly refused to sign that housing bill aimed at fixing the nation's housing crisis. It overwhelmingly passed Congress with bipartisan support after lawmakers worked on it for months. A recent report found a nationwide shortage of 10 million homes. The housing bill would ban Wall Street investors from buying single-family homes and make it easier to construct homes as well. So in a somewhat lengthy post on Truth Social here, Trump called the bill a matter of minor importance, is what he said in this post right here. Speaker Johnson says he is confident Trump will ultimately sign that bill into law, though.
Time right now, 5:17. And in a Project Seattle report, new data shows homelessness continues to grow in King County. The latest point-in-time count by the King County Regional Homelessness Authority shows there are currently more than 18,000 people without shelter. Well, that's a 9% increase from 2 years ago. The rise comes despite the county investing $50 million a year into the KCRHA, while Seattle contributes about $100 million annually. That apparent lack of return on investment is the one reason why some local leaders are now pushing to dissolve dissolve the KCRHA.
I don't think it makes sense to have 80 to 100 staff at some third-party regional homeless authority spending millions and millions of dollars to basically administer policy and grants that are not working.
Earlier this year, an audit found the KCRHA is millions of dollars over its budget. The evaluation also found the agency has $13 million unaccounted for. The KCRHA says they will release a full report on the new point-in-time data sometime later this year.
Meanwhile, a housing facility for dozens of formerly homeless people is now open in Kirkland, but nearby business owners say that they have many unanswered questions about the impact on the community there. Sheila Stanton Place sits on Northeast Northrop Way. That's in the former La Quinta Inn. It's operated by the nonprofit Plymouth Housing. Now, about 40 people have already moved in, and the building could eventually house more than 100 total. But neighbors say they worry that the facility will become a hotspot for drug use.
There is a tremendous amount of inappropriate behavior that occurs outside of the facility, and that's what was really of concern to me.
Plymouth Housing says the complex will have round-the-clock staffing. Residents must also agree to a code of conduct before moving in.
Firefighters in Los Angeles say a huge fire inside a cold storage facility has finally been knocked down more than a week after it started. Crews can now begin searching the 500,000 square foot warehouse for hot spots. They will also work to remove more than 85 million pounds of food inside, some of which has burned or spoiled. Investigators believe the fire started during work on solar panels installed on the roof. It burned for 8 days, triggering several health alerts for poor air quality due to all of that smoke.
And take a look at this new video out of Pennsylvania. This shows a massive 6-alarm fire tearing through a business in Allentown as that massive ball of fire shoots into the air. Crews say the fire started just before 9 o'clock last night, then spread to a home across the street. People in that neighborhood are now being told to evacuate. First responders are also urging the folks there throughout Allentown to shelter in place. As a precaution, utility companies have shut off the power in that area, leaving about 3,600 people in the dark. So far, no injuries have been reported.
A 6-alarm, just a massive fire there, my goodness. Time right now, 5:20. Let's head out to the weather deck. Check in with meteorologist George Waldenberger. 56 degrees, no jacket for you this morning.
You know what? If I could rethink that, I might throw my jacket on.
Yeah, I was wondering.
A little bit of a chill. I like the cool air, though, so it feels nice. But maybe next time when you see me out here in the 6 o'clock hour, I'll throw my jacket on. It's 56. It's our coolest morning of the week so far. And actually, it feels refreshing. And you can see the gray above me. We have an overcast, a canopy of clouds that will eventually start dropping rain. In Seattle, we'll have to wait likely more than 12 hours for that, for more than sprinkles. But by the end of the day, Saturday, up to 1/4 of an inch or more of rain will have fallen. This will be beneficial rain, sure, but you'll have to plan around it for Friday and Saturday. For today, most of the day dry, but if you're in Edmonds, Everett, Marysville, Arlington, the north side of Seattle, or Whidbey Island, I'd be ready for a midday sprinkle. Otherwise, Port Angeles, over toward Aberdeen, Hoquiam, I'd expect some morning sprinkles. There already have been some, and you'll have a better chance for rain actually developing this afternoon, and in Olympia, that may develop around 5 p.m. East of the Cascades, we're still in the 80s, but it's windy here, and we do have a heightened fire danger risk. But in Seattle, it's 50s and 60s. That's pretty much it for the next week. So say goodbye to the 80s and 90s of the last couple of days. As far as rain, again, in Seattle, most of the day dry. Can't rule out a sprinkle later. But I'd really watch the drive home in this evening for showers. Tomorrow morning, be ready for showers. The afternoon, the rain will be hit or miss mainly north of Seattle. On Saturday, it's looking wetter in the morning, maybe drier in the afternoon as the rain shifts south. Drier on Sunday, still be ready for mountain showers, and then Monday's kind of iffy if we see another batch of rain. The first push of rain is approaching from the west. It's swinging around that low. That low then moves in on Saturday. Then we get a brief bout of drier air on Sunday behind it, followed by another system on Sunday. So let me help you plan your day. In Olympia at the airport, again, overcast skies, but most of the sound will be dry while we wait for the showers, really toward the end of the day. Look at 5 p.m. You can see a couple of raindrops there, so for the drive home, be ready in case you hit some spotty showers, especially South Sound. And Aberdeen, Hoquiam, Long Beach, Westport, a little different forecast. Some sprinkles now, and then late morning through the afternoon, be ready for off and on showers. Tomorrow, again, plan on rain scattered about in the morning, north of Seattle for the afternoon. Then Saturday, we have off and on showers. Right now, it looks wetter in the morning. There will be a couple of sun breaks here and there, but mostly cloudy skies will reign supreme. Another batch of rain possible Monday toward the middle of next week. I do hope these clouds can clear out and we can bump the temperatures back up for July 4th weekend, which is the following weekend, all right?
Hard to believe it's almost here.
Yes, indeed. All right, thank you, George. Your time is now 5:22. A local sports legend returning to his alma mater with a new mission in mind.
The role former NBA star Brandon Roy is taking on at Garfield High School. Time right now, 5:25. Let's check in with Steve at the live desk for a look at what is trending on social media. What are you seeing this morning?
Lots of people talking about basketball. We know the Storm have lost 11 in a row. They're going to try to change that tonight when they host the New York Liberty at Climate Pledge Arena. We'll see if that happens. So, lots of people are posting about the WNBA this morning, and one of the reasons it's trending is because the league is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. Millions of people have now viewed this post on X, allowing fans to celebrate the anniversary with a commemorative anniversary poster. It's now available online. It's about $30, $29.99 to be exact. Also trending this morning, Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. She left the Fever's game against Phoenix early because of a back issue. Still unclear this morning when she first began experiencing back discomfort, but she appeared to tweak it after a second quarter foul. The Fever lost that game by 2 points.
Steve, thank you. Today, Seattle's Garfield High School will formally welcome a former NBA All-Star as their new boys basketball coach. Alumni Brandon Roy is taking the job after spending years involved with their program as a mentor. Roy graduated from Garfield back in 2002 before playing 4 years of college ball at UW. From there, he was chosen 6th overall in the NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was immediately traded to the Portland Trail Blazers, though, and he went on to become a 3-time All-Star before injuries shortened his career. Roy will be formally introduced as Garfield's head coach in a press conference at the high school today at 1 o'clock.
Well, isn't that a full circle moment?
It really is.
Very cool to
Love
see.
it.
Time right now, 5:26. You're looking live in Venezuela as emergency crews search the rubble for survivors following 2 huge earthquakes. We're tracking the mounting death toll and the impact to public services all across the country.
And a 15-year-old boy adding new charges to his lengthy rap sheet. How prosecutors say he unintentionally killed a teenage girl.
And we're about an hour away from the opening bell on Wall Street. Traders looking ahead to a major read on inflation getting released tomorrow. At 5:47, the impact it could have on the future of interest rates. That's ahead.
You're watching KOMO News.
Breaking now at 5:30, Venezuela rocked by its strongest earthquakes in more than 100 years.
We'll show you a closer look at the staggering damage and the frantic search for survivors trapped under rubble.
Seattle ready to welcome World Cup crowds for the second time this week. By tomorrow's match is expected to spark controversy among fans.
Here's a live look now in Des Moines on this Thursday morning from the KOMO 4 drone as the sun begins to rise. We got the clouds, but we still get the sunrise. A beautiful shot here, and some might call it refreshing.
Yeah.
So I'll take that too.
Absolutely. My
Refreshing.
yard could certainly use some
Yes.
water. It is looking awfully dry, and we just love to bring you those sunrise looks too.
Yes, we
It's
do.
just beautiful this morning. We say good morning to you. Glad to have you with us. I'm Holly Menino.
Good morning, I'm Patrick Hushin. We'll be watching for any issues on the roadways for your Thursday morning commute. Steve McCarron is tracking several big stories from the live desk right now. But first, over to meteorologist George Waldenberger. George, yeah, it's just cooler this morning.
Yeah, so much different actually. A little cooler, cloudier. You may catch a sprinkle toward the lunch hour in a few locations, but we will follow this with rain this evening, and we'll have a wet couple of days ahead. The cooler air is moving in, but we have one advisory now, a red flag warning. This is east of the Cascades. The winds pick up here out of the west, and that will increase the fire danger this afternoon and evening over places like Omak, Ellensburg, Wenatchee, and Chelan. Our summer weather on pause. We're talking 50s and 60s daily until further notice. That's a 20-degree cool down. Coming up, I'll use Futurecast. I'll time out the showers. I also want to talk a little bit more about the recent earthquake in Venezuela.
Let's take a look at your morning drive. A live look, SR 96 Dumas Road. We did have those 2 westbound lanes blocked from an earlier crash. As you can see, those are now clear. Out to the maps this morning, still seeing all green on your traffic maps.
We want to show you another live look now in Venezuela where search crews are frantically sifting through debris after 2 powerful earthquakes topped many buildings there. Those quakes hit less than a minute apart, both registered above magnitude 7. Venezuelan leaders have already confirmed at least 164 people dead, more than 970 others injured, and those numbers are expected to climb.
There have already been several confirmed aftershocks, and experts warn more are expected. Aftershocks can hit days, weeks, or even months after an earthquake.
Every sequence is slightly different, but you should always be prepared for more shaking after you've experienced a significant earthquake like this.
These were the most powerful earthquakes to hit Venezuela in more than a century.
Yeah, a lot to get to here. Let's get back to Steve at the live desk.
And Steve, the heartbreaking reality of these quakes, we just don't know how high the death toll is going to climb.
Yeah, one estimate was up to 10,000 people, right, which is just heartbreaking to hear that this morning. So these quakes caused widespread damage in several Venezuelan states, impacted air travel, schools, subway systems impacted, natural gas systems impacted, and who knows when those are going to resume. So let's show you a couple new videos here. This heartbreaking new video just came across our live desk feeds this morning. And in it, you can see a man shining a spotlight on some rubble there as he calls out his son's name. His son is one of many people missing this morning after those two powerful quakes. We don't know if he's still alive. Look at this terrifying new video coming in. It shows portions of a building trembling and then collapsing as onlookers watch in disbelief. If you look through the trees there and in between the floors, you can see those pieces of that building just falling to the ground as a biker just goes by. There's tons of witnesses too. This new video takes you inside another damaged building this morning. What you're seeing here is a state-owned Venezuelan television building. You can see parts of the facade fell off and damaged vehicles parked next to that building. Unclear this morning if anybody was actually hurt inside that building.
Oh, just awful. Today, a 15-year-old boy will go before a judge as he faces murder charges in King County. That deadly shooting happened back on June 3rd in a parking lot in Kent, and prosecutors say the teen opened fire on a group of people intending to hit a rival gang member. Instead, he shot and killed a 16-year-old girl. This is not the first time the boy has been in handcuffs. Court documents say the teen caused mass panic at a Seafair parade in Seattle in 2024 when he and two other teens brought stolen loaded guns into the crowd. Then in 2025, prosecutors say he tried to rob a group of girls with the help of a 20-year-old. In that case, the victims fought back and the 20-year-old was shot and killed. As for the 15-year-old boy, prosecutors say he was violating his parole and had a warrant out for his arrest at the time he shot and killed the girl in Kent.
We're also learning more about a shooting that left a teenager injured along Seattle's notorious Aurora Avenue. This is a story we first reported as breaking news at this time yesterday. Investigators say the teenager claimed he was shot by someone in a passing car while he was walking, but police now believe the teen was shot while driving by the passenger in his own vehicle. Now, this shooting comes as the Seattle City Council considers giving SDOT the authority to close off certain streets in hopes of preventing gunfire and prostitution along Aurora.
Well, listen to that. On Whidbey Island, 3 firefighters are recovering after a house exploded while they were responding to a fire in Green Bank. Now, this happened just before 3 yesterday afternoon. Crews say 2 fire chiefs and 1 firefighter suffered blast injuries but are now in stable condition. That explosion destroyed the home, spread to a neighboring house, and then damaged a third. The cause of that blast now under investigation. Time right now is 5:35, and tomorrow's Egypt-Iran World Cup match is shaping up to be one of Seattle's busiest tournament days yet, with pride celebrations, planned marches, and thousands of fans expected in downtown.
A lot going on after record travel crowds earlier in the tournament. Security teams are reminding everyone to just plan ahead. KOMO's Tyra Majors joins us with what you should expect and the message from airport officials. Good morning, Tyra.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Wednesday's match, if anything, showed that Seattle can get really busy during these World Cup matches, not just on the streets of Soto and Pioneer Square with businesses packed, but also in our airports, and FIFA officials just preparing really hard today for another round of crowds in a high-profile match. Friday's action starts long before the 8 p.m. kickoff at Lumen Field. An anti-Iranian regime march is planned near the stadium, while another protest is scheduled outside of the field's west entrance. The match is also Seattle Pride's match day, with community celebrations and pride programming continuing through the weekend. If you're heading out of town this weekend, the crowds aren't just showing up downtown. SeaTac says World Cup travel already helped produce 3 of the airport's busiest days ever, with roughly 201,000 passengers screened per day around the USA-Australia match. Federal security officials say enhanced screening, technology, air marshals, and additional planning are helping keep travelers moving safely.
Again, a lot of that is a testament to not only the federal security director here, Robert Spindon, but also individuals across the United States that have gone above and beyond in planning and executing.
And the message this morning is really simple. It's just to plan ahead, prepare, especially if you're taking transit. There will be a lot of crowds. It is Seattle Pride Weekend, or Pride Weekend in general, with multiple events, including a parade through the city of downtown and other activations around the city tomorrow as well. So prepare for that. It's going to be a busy one.
Tyra, what is the biggest security reminder officials are putting out ahead of another busy match day?
It's really about drones. We spoke with TSA officials yesterday, and they've seen a lot of, they call them hobbyist drones, people who like to fly drones for fun, but it's a reminder to everybody that you can't fly those drones, especially in restricted airspace in and around the stadium. So they just say to leave those drones at home before, during, and after those matches. Live here in Seattle, Tyra Majors, KOMO News.
Tyra, thank you. Back now to these stunning images of 2 earthquakes less than a minute apart in Venezuela. A 7.2 magnitude, then a 7.5 magnitude earthquake leveling buildings there in the capital city of Caracas. Sadly, at least 164 people are reported dead, nearly 1,000 people injured. The race is on to rescue even more people from the rubble.
All right, let's bring in George now to explain the science behind these 2 earthquakes in Venezuela. George?
Okay, so as we know, the Earth's crust broken up into plates. These plates move with respect to each other. That causes vibrations. These are earthquakes, right?
Right.
90% of the earthquakes that happen on the Earth are around the Pacific Ring of Fire. That's where we have the most activity. This is a look at some more of that video from Venezuela. It's just devastating, and it was 2 back-to-back within a minute, greater than a 7.0 magnitude. Let me show you the map, and you can see really the Ring of Fire and its western boundary of the United States and South America. Now, as we zoom in to the portion of the Ring of Fire on Central America, this is the area we're talking about. So we're outside of the Ring of Fire. Here is Venezuela right here, but we have a new plate here. This is called the Caribbean Plate. This is the seafloor of the Caribbean Sea, and there are boundaries between this and North America and South America. This plate is shifting east slowly. So you have these boundaries here where there are faults that can produce other earthquakes. And what's fascinating here is that this is why we have mountains in the Caribbean, and you go just a little bit farther to the north in Florida, and it's very flat. So this is another area that's very active seismically, and one of the reasons also you frequently hear about earthquakes in Haiti, guys.
Yeah, Georgia, an earthquake reported off the coast of Japan, one in California as well, just over the last day or so. A lot happening. But here closer to home, we're just back to cooler, gloomier weather.
Yeah, and by the way, the recent earthquake in California, unrelated to the one in Venezuela, these things just happen. But locally, weather-wise, we're fairly quiet right now. We do have clouds creeping in. There is some rain offshore and some sprinkles closer to Aberdeen and Hoquiam and Westport right now. Yesterday, we were near 90 in Tacoma, and today, we're going to drop our temperatures more than 20 degrees. It's going to feel cool. It already does. We're cloudy, 55 degrees. Our air quality nice and fresh with a marine push. And by this evening, I'd be ready for showers in Seattle, maybe even a sprinkle during the lunch hour. Now, the exception is Port Angeles, Grays Harbor, Hoquiam, Aberdeen, Long Beach. You may catch some of these showers this afternoon with sprinkles this morning. Tomorrow morning, I'd be ready for rain around Seattle. North of Seattle, I think the rain lingers much of the day tomorrow, whereas south of Seattle and for the stadium tomorrow evening, maybe we get a break from the rain. There will be more showers on Saturday, and I'll update your weekend forecast coming up. All right, guys?
All right, bring on some cooler weather. Got a weather question for George or another member of our forecast team? Just post on X and tag us at KOMO News or email us at tips@komonews.com.
Children and their families in our communities are facing hunger and need your help. That's why our parent company, Sinclair, is partnering with Feeding America for Sinclair Cares Summer Hunger Relief to provide meals for families this summer. Today is our big day of giving, Every $1 donated helps provide at least 10 meals secured by Feeding America on behalf of local partner food banks. Just scan that QR code there on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com if you'd like to make a donation or sign up to volunteer.
And Food Lifeline right here in Seattle is that local partner, so that money will go to them as well. Time right now, 5:41. WashDOT could soon lower the toll rates for certain drivers.
Yeah, who would qualify for the lower fees and why the agency is considering the change?
House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan speaking out about election integrity, the November midterms, and ongoing congressional probes. I'm Jeff Harris in Washington. Coming up, what else he had to share in our exclusive interview.
Time right now is 5:44. As the November midterms loom, President Trump is going all in on election integrity. He's not only putting the renewal of FISA's Section 702 on hold, but also refusing to sign a bipartisan housing bill until the Save America Act is passed.
Now, one of the most vocal proponents of that bill is House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan. Last night, he spoke exclusively with the National News Desk's Jeff Harris.
From a federal judge blocking the Trump administration from checking state voter rolls to the ongoing investigation into Democratic fundraising platform Act Blue, we spoke with Jordan about a number of different topics. That includes election integrity, telling us passing the Save America Act is, quote, good common sense.
Americans should be voting in American elections, not foreigners. We should have photo ID. We should have citizenship requirement. That's the law, frankly.
Speaking exclusively with the National News Desk Wednesday, Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, telling us when it comes to election integrity, the divide in the U.S. today is between, quote, common sense and crazy.
Every position the left now takes, and if you saw from the results yesterday, the Democrat Party is getting more and more left-wing, more and more, quote, progressive socialist policies.
Jordan referencing the Democratic Socialist candidates who won their House primary elections in New York Tuesday night, including official DSA members Daria-Liza Avila Chevalier and Claire Valdez, both of whom were backed by Mayor Zohran Mamdani, along with progressive Brad Lander. Your reaction to their victories and then also possibly serving with them on Capitol Hill.
It is really sad. The once great party of FDR and JFK is now this Democrat socialist anti-Israel party.
In addition to elections, Jordan sharing an update on the investigation into Democratic fundraising platform Act Blue, whose CEO Regina Wallace-Jones pled the fifth 22 times earlier this month after being subpoenaed to testify about the organization's alleged donor fraud and foreign contributions. What are the next steps here to get answers? Is it holding her in contempt? Is that an option, or possibly DOJ involvement?
Well, DOJ is looking at this already, so that's good. Second, we're asking for certain documents, certain communications that we think we're entitled to do our constitutional duty of oversight. So we'll see where that goes. We leave everything on the table when it comes to getting the truth and getting the facts.
Plus, when asked what worries him the most heading into November's consequential midterm elections, Jordan pointing to how the chain of custody and mail-in ballot works, specifically calling out one state.
It'd be nice if we just got to get rid of the mail-in issue, except for people who have a truly legitimate reason overseas, military folks, or people overseas or can't vote on election day, those kind of things, versus this just sort of blanket mail-in voting that California seems to have.
Now, when it comes to election integrity, Jordan also weighing in on a federal judge who just this week blocked the Trump administration from using a revamped immigration database to check voter rolls, saying the move threatens the sacred integrity of elections. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
Time right now, 5:47. The opening bell on Wall Street, less than 45 minutes away.
Yeah, let's get to Steve at the live desk, who's tracking these pre-market numbers. Steve.
Yes, we are, and we're in the green so far, but certainly a lot of developments just in the past 15 minutes or so, guys. Stock futures are rising ahead of the opening bell right now, boosted by an earnings report from memory chip maker Micron Technology. Traders are also reacting to new unemployment numbers that we just got a few minutes ago, and a major new read on inflation that also came in just a few minutes ago. I'm going to get to that in a second. First, we just learned that filings for unemployment benefits fell to 215,000 last week as layoffs across the country remain quite low. The tech-heavy NASDAQ rebounding in a big way this morning after falling in Wednesday's regular trading session. Micron Technology surged almost 15% overnight, big number, after the chipmaker reported third quarter results that top analysts' expectations. And then just coming in this morning, a brand new read on inflation. May's per personal consumption expenditures price index. It's a mouthful, but it jumped to a 3-year high and the latest sign of people struggling to afford everyday costs. This index is the Federal Reserve's preferred measure on inflation. It impacts the central bank's decisions on interest rates. Just last week, you'll remember almost half of the Fed's policymakers said they would support a rate hike to fight inflation this year. That could happen as soon as October. If it does, it would become more expensive to borrow money for things like credit cards and car loans.
Some drivers in Washington could soon pay less to use certain toll roads. WashDOT and the State Transportation Commission are considering a plan that would cut tolls in half for qualifying low-income drivers on State Route 509, that expressway, and the new State Route 167 expressway.
As we think about balancing the impact of tolls as we see more toll facilities come into the Puget Sound.
To qualify, a 2-person household would need a combined salary of less than $44,000. A family of 4 would have to earn less than $66,000 to qualify. The commission is asking for public feedback on the proposal until July 10th, when they will move forward with a final decision. We do have a link to their survey. It's on KOMOnews.com.
All right, George, for those of folks that would like the hot weather, the party's over, I guess.
For now.
We have so many guests from across the world.
Yeah.
They were surprised with how
Yes.
warm and summer it's been, and then now they'll have the reputation that Seattle's known for.
Exactly. A little June gloom, should we say.
Yeah, the Seattle that they see in TV and movies
Right.
is back. We have gray skies, and you can see it here. Hood Canal just to the west of Seattle. Arlington Airport, though, still a little bit of sunshine. The clouds will creep in if you are seeing sun right now. The clouds are going to take over for a week pretty much, and it's cooler. So if you like it cool, cloudy, this weather is for you. And I don't mind a change in weather. You can see the marine clouds sending in, the sea breeze coming in. This is a patch of rain here that will move in. Our parent storm system is up here, and it takes between now and Saturday until that moves in. So here's what that means. Most of the day dry in Seattle, maybe a sprinkle, but if you're on the Olympic Peninsula, southwest Washington, some sprinkles now and some scattered afternoon rain. Now, for tomorrow, I'd be ready for rain in the morning for the commute to work. It'll break up in some locations for the afternoon and evening. I'm hoping for the soccer match tomorrow evening, Iran versus Egypt, but it will be wetter through the afternoon tomorrow here, Convergence Zone, Everett, Whidbey Island, up toward Mount Vernon and Arlington. Now, Saturday also, I'd be ready for rain, especially in the morning. We'll get a couple of sun breaks here and there, but it's going to stay cool. In the afternoon, many areas will be able to dry out as the rain shifts south. Right now, Sunday looks to be the drier weekend day. I'd still be ready for a couple showers, especially if you're closer to the mountains, especially the Cascade Mountains. For today, let me get you ready for the day. Mostly cloudy and 67 degrees and about a 20-degree temperature drop from yesterday. You can see the clouds spreading in. By the commute home tonight, I'd be ready for rain around the South Sound, maybe even Seattle and Everett if you're unlucky, I guess. Then off and on showers overnight through tomorrow morning. You can see the rain is just scattered about all the way through Saturday, and then it breaks up a little on Sunday. This will be about 1/4 of an inch of rain, maybe a little more in higher elevations and the mountains. Here's your extended forecast. Hoping that Sunday can be just a little drier. Should still be mostly cloudy, and we just have mornings in the 50s, afternoons in the 60s. One more thing, tomorrow will be a little breezy too, so that will add a chill to the air. You'll definitely want your windbreaker, maybe even a water-resistant jacket for tomorrow for the showers. Monday, I think we get a couple of showers. Tuesday, Wednesday, iffy forecast. I'd be ready for showers right now. I'm going with a dry forecast. I'm just hoping that next weekend for July 4th we can warm up and clear out. Time for your morning coffee break.
The KOMO News app keeps you up to date wherever you are with breaking news now, disruptive weather now, traffic alerts now, sports highlights now. Everything that matters to the Northwest right in the KOMO News app. Download right now.
All right, George, take me to science class. I need a science lesson on that this morning.
This is fascinating. Some flowers actually make themselves warmer, and they can be as much as maybe 100 degrees when it's cool outside.
Whoa.
Some flowers, not all.
Do we know which ones?
Yeah, well, actually, our tulips do this.
Okay,
To
that
some
makes sense.
extent. To
All
some
right.
extent. Others more. But they do this for a few reasons. They can basically make their aroma go farther. They can attract pollinators this way. They can also protect themselves from the cool air this way as well.
They want those honeybees pollinating them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, George, thank you. Very interesting. Time right now, 5:53. This Lego trophy of the FIFA World Cup may not be quite as valuable as the real deal. It's probably closer than you think, though. What makes this version worth more than $80,000? It's Legos. We'll be right back. Good Thursday morning. Let's take a look at your morning drive. A live look I-5 Enchanted Parkway. Traffic picking up just a little bit here as you make your way I-5 northbound this morning. Let's take you out to the maps right now. Still all green on our traffic maps. If we focus on South Sound though, just for a minute, that's where we start to see traffic building just a little bit though. We don't have any major slowdowns, no major distractions or crashes to slow you down this morning. We just have a few more cars on the road on 167 northbound. Well, check this out. A boy in Dubai decided to build his own FIFA World Cup trophy using Lego bricks. Look at that. Then his father, who is a jeweler, got in on the fun. Well, the dad transformed the trophy by adding 900 pieces of diamonds set on 18-karat gold. The project took 35 days to finish. It is now worth an estimated $81,000. The family says they're not planning to sell it. They hope to eventually give it to charity or have it put on display in a museum. It's the diamonds that added up that price, right?
Yeah, only in Dubai, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, your time is now 5:57. We continue to follow this breaking news. Live pictures out of Caracas, Venezuela. The full scope of those two back-to-back earthquakes now coming to light. More than 160 people dead, nearly 1,000 hurt, and the race is on to save more from the rubble.
And in our Amazing Washington series, did you know the wait list for a kidney in our state is now 3 to 5 years? How one local community is working to eliminate that wait list altogether.
And call it the worst marriage proposal ever. Or maybe the best. One guy's devious plan to guarantee his now fiance would never suspect a thing.
Oh my. Remember, we're always on KOMOnews.com. You can also find us on all of these streaming apps and check out KOMO News on your favorite social